What is up? We're back at it again. We're talking out with Dennis, and my guest here tonight is Evan. Evan, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good, you, Ahmad. Thank you for having me on the show. Pleasure.
It's nice to have you here. Now, Evan, I've known you a couple of years. You're quite a bit of an outdoorsman. You're a very successful hunter, and I know you've had quite the hunting season this season. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. So I've shot 3 deer. I filled all my doe tags this year, and I've shot a bear, and it was my first time shooting a bear. So I got one more tag to go. How about you?
Well, it's same old, same old. We go out there, we don't see nothing, we don't hear nothing. We're out there, do a few estrus calls, doe calls, nothing comes in. Where do you hunt exactly?
Well, every man says it's a secret spot, so I can't tell you that one.
I know that much. Can you tell us a little bit about that bear you shot?
So the bear I shot, I was hunting with my dad and brother, and we were walking down the mountain, and I was meeting back up with my dad, and he was doing a fawn bleat similar to what you were doing. And as I was walking towards him, he turns around and says, "Evan, look behind you." And so I looked behind me, and then there was a bear running at me 50 yards away, full speed. And so I had to do what instinct would do, turn around, and I shot it, and I dropped it, didn't move, didn't flinch, nothing.
That sounds like it was probably the scariest thing you've ever experienced in your whole entire life.
Nope, it was awesome.
Really?
No adrenaline rush, nothing.
Really? I can remember I've had my fair share of seeing some predators out seen hunting. Didn't shoot them, though.
Why not?
Well, we have the philosophy that if we shoot something, we're going to eat it. And any predator, and my dad and I both agree that we're not going to eat anything predator.
I agree.
He has had bear before, and he said it was like gritty and greasy, and he just...
Yeah, it all depends, because if you're going to have bear burger, you don't want the bear fat. You want to buy other fat like beef fat. That's probably why.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about filling out your doe tags?
My doe tag, so my bow doe tag was earlier this year. I was seeing probably like 10 doe a day, and I kind of got to the point where I was sick of seeing so many doe, and so I took care of one of them.
Yeah, just all right. If I'm not gonna see a buck, just see doe. Fuck it, let's just bring one of these bitches down.
You're damn right, son. I got done. So what happened was I went golfing, and I was still in my golfing clothes. I went out in the woods, sat in my hunting blind for a little bit, came in, and I just shot her. That's all she wrote.
Have you ever gotten a buck when you was hunting?
I've shot like 4 buck, my fair share.
What's the biggest buck you've shot? How many points? How heavy was it?
It's only a 4-pointer.
That's still pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, I've lost a nice 6-pointer, and I've seen some other ones, but I just couldn't get a good shot off on them.
At least you get a shot off on them. I can remember a couple years ago, setting up trail cameras and just seeing like monster bucks, but they just never showed up when me and my dad were hunting for some reason.
You got to come with me, Ahmad. I could teach you a thing or two.
I'd appreciate that.
You want to hear about my other doe?
Sure.
All right, so it was this previous weekend, Saturday. I went out again. We had some people over. We were hunting, and I came up on these 3 doe, so I took their tracks for a little bit, and I was able to get a good shot, although it wasn't the best shot in the world, but it worked. We jumped it a few times, and we tracked it for 6 hours, and then we were able to finally get it again.
Really? Was this muzzleloader or was it archery?
Yes, this was a muzzleloader.
Wow.
And so then Sunday, the next day, I woke up. I didn't want to go out, but I did. Not even 10 minutes in the woods, I shot another deer. Dropped it, so I didn't have to track it at all.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
It kind of reminds me of when I got my first doe.
Yeah.
It was my first youth weekend. My dad and I had just gotten out to our blind. We were set up. It was on one of his co-workers' land. That we were sitting there for maybe half an hour, and I looked to my left out into the field, maybe 100, almost 200 yards out, and I see a doe.
Wow.
And she starts coming out. Then we see that there's more than one. We see that there's 4.
He's probably trying to breed her, is what he's trying to do.
Oh no, it was just doe actually.
Oh.
Yeah, and we see them. Wait for them to come into range finally. And then I get my gun up.
What do you shoot for a gun?
A 30-30.
Lever action, bullet action?
Lever action.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so anyway, I line it up like right in the lungs where you're supposed to hit.
The lungs?
Yeah.
You want the heart? Or do you eat the heart?
No, I didn't eat the heart. No.
All right, all right.
Anyway, yeah, I just put it around the lungs and just pulled the trigger. My dad and I would discuss for a short time whether we wanted to wait a little bit to let her,
When in doubt.
yeah, let her die, or we wanted to go and track her right then and there. We decided to just go out and get it then and there. So we go out and went right when we get to about the spot where we saw the deer. There's actually another doe standing there, and she sees us, and it's like, whoa. But then she saw my dad move, and then she turns around and said, my dad's, oh shit, did you see that? And I said, yeah. Then I look to my left, and I see something white. And I was like,
It's ass?
yep, it was that. So, and I saw that, Dad, over here, I see something white. So we started walking over to her. Then we see something that looks like the body of a deer. And then we go around. I poke it, I make sure it's dead. And
You poke it.
we're like, not very hard. It's just
All
like
right.
a tap.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So that's something I learned from my grandpa.
You ever heard the stories of going up to deer while they're still alive, like buck?
Yes, that's exactly why. That's also why we went up from like the backside, so we don't get trampled if it was still alive.
That's you carry a knife on you when you go to them.
Well, we also got to have a knife for gutting it and doing all that crazy
Oh,
stuff.
do you gut it? That's the real question.
Yeah, of course we did.
Did you gut it though? Did you put your hands in it?
I held open the ribs a little so my dad could like get the stuff out.
That makes sense.
It took maybe about another half hour for him to like finally do it.
Really?
Yeah, it was our first time doing it.
That's
he had
good.
done it with a turkey before, but
Turkey's
but yeah.
different. You don't really gut a turkey, bud.
Yeah.
You
just-
turkey hunt that much?
Yes, I do.
What about goose and duck? Anything?
My dad does the waterfowl hunting. Do you do any waterfowl hunting?
I actually do. I shot my first band this year. It was a mallard.
My dad has not had any luck with ducks so far. He's had his fair share of luck with geese. I can remember one September, I think it was my senior year of high school. He was out with some buddies.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Not really. Anyway, he shot about 6 geese. Yeah, so, and he brought them all back to my house, and we were gutting like, so I gutted 3, he gutted 3. There were feathers everywhere, and then wasps and flies swarming and stuff.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
It must have been a hot day.
It was kind of hot, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the heat, thankfully. Then there was another time he went out hunting, but didn't get anything. But the one of his buddies that he was with did get something.
You did? Nice one.
Yep. And then his buddy told him, "Hey, my family doesn't really like the stuff. You want to have it?" So yeah. So he came home again later that day, and I answered the door for him, and then I see he's holding a dead goose. I was like, I thought you said he didn't get anything. But yeah, but then he just told.
He's just playing with you. That's why.
What?
He's just messing with you a little bit.
I don't think so. My dad is a pretty honest man. I know when he's goofing off, and this was not one of those times.
Yeah, makes sense.
You
What about rabbit hunting? You ever do rabbit hunting?
That's what I did in the beginning. Rabbits and squirrels. Didn't see anything, unfortunately.
With dogs?
My dad does not like dogs.
Oh, why not? If I may.
He's
Ask.
just had bad experiences with dogs
Makes
in the
sense.
past.
Running them with beagles is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. You've done that before? Can you give us a
Yep.
story?
Last year, I went and I can't tell you where, but you get out there and you let the dogs loose and you have a GPS. And so then on your GPS, each dog has a collar, so you get to look at exactly where each dog is and where they're pushing the rabbits. And when they get on a rabbit, they start barking and they go fast and start barking faster and faster, and then they'll run right through you. So you got to be quick.
Of course, it's easier with dogs because they have a better sense of smell than us.
Yeah, and they can get through all the little stuff.
Yeah, because they're smaller. They can just wriggle right through.
Yeah.
I would like. I've thought about hunting with dogs, but I'm thinking more like hound dogs. You need for like wild pigs or something.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. You ever think about hunting wild pigs?
Damn right. I've thought about hunting everything there is.
Actually, did hunt wild pigs with my dad a couple years back
Where?
in Pennsylvania on a ranch.
Were you successful?
Yes, we were. Thankfully, it took a little while. My hands were pretty cold. My fingers were numb, but
That's the good part. When you shoot something, you get to stick your hands in it when you're gunning. It warms you right up.
well, yeah, I guess.
Or you
yeah.
were too scared then?
Oh, actually, the ranch did all the gunning and
Oh,
stuff.
you did? Oh.
Yeah, it was more just like a vacation. Like we had a cabin to sleep in, and then the next day we go out hunting, and yeah,
Can't beat that. What are you using for a gun?
I was still using the 30-30. My dad was using a 20 gauge shotgun.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Chewing slugs?
I can't remember. Maybe. Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
You had to take down such a big animal.
What's your dream animal to hunt?
That was my dream animal to hunt.
Hogs?
Yep. I think my next one's probably got to be caribou.
Yeah. I thought you wanted to hunt Santa's reindeer.
Be quiet.
No, that's my dream. I want to go out there out west and shoot elk. That's what I want.
Yes, my dad wants to hunt elk. He's really impressed by their antlers.
They're very beautiful animals.
Yeah.
You've seen videos, you shoot them like 6 times and it's all shot placement. They'll still keep going.
Mm-hmm. I remember once seeing a video where a kid shot an elk in the neck with an arrow, and it just bled out, like standing there. It was just like blood was just trickling down its neck, and it finally it fell.
Died, yeah, probably because it lost. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why that is? Why they don't even move after they get shot?
Well, if you shoot them right in the neck, I mean, you're taking out your airways. You can't breathe.
Right.
So that's why it's almost an instant. If you see a shot, it's not the most ethical shot, but it's a shot that can take them out.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you eaten deer heart? I've heard that's like a delicacy.
Deer heart, deer liver, everything.
Yeah.
Not often. I only ate a one-time thing. Never again.
Oh, really? My grandpa told me that he was like, it was just chef's kisses. Well, you wouldn't agree with that?
No, not when you take a bite and you taste a vein.
Wait, did you eat it raw or cooked?
I cooked it.
Okay. I know that's a thing some people say. Like, once you kill it, you got to drink its blood to take a bite out of its heart. I was like,
you have to.
I'm like, no. You don't know what kind of diseases or bacteria that thing has going through it.
This is a chance you got to take. What about fishing? Do you do much fishing or not?
Yes, I do a lot of fishing here and there. I was actually on a bass fishing team in my high school, my junior and senior year. Yep.
What's your biggest largemouth?
Haven't really caught a largemouth. It was actually like a baby, actually.
Oh, really?
My biggest smallmouth was like 4.3 pounds, actually.
Really?
Yep. What about you?
I got a 6-pound smallie 2 years ago.
That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice.
Right on Lake Champlain.
Oh, nice.
What do you use? A bait caster, spinner?
Spinner. What about you?
I use a bait caster. Yeah. You come across, what do you use? You use the plastic worms, don't you?
I use any bait that works. Yeah, I use like this greenish silver worm.
Wacky worm.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Tag them so you can get some for free.
We'll see about that. Anyway, yeah, that's what I seem to be catching the most fish on.
Yeah, especially summertime. That's what they like. Have you ever done Laker fishing, anything like that?
Laker fishing? What's that?
Laker is like lake trout, salmon.
No, but I have caught my fair share of trout. I can remember going to a little camp out that was also a shooting range one time. Hooked a few brown trout.
Oh, nice.
Then there's this other place where my
you can
dad
get those too if you go in town. They got a special place for those.
Nice.
A lot of brown trout.
Nice. And also I can remember another.
Though.
It's staged. What do you mean?
Keep going.
As I was saying, and there's this other place we go to. We catch a lot of rainbow trout.
Really? That's cool. Where's that in Colchester? Colchester Pond?
I can't remember where it is actually, but I can just remember going there with a couple of friends one day, and we just went for lunch, and then my dad and I just kept going that summer.
Cool. Yeah, I caught a brown trout this summer. It was 3.21 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
It was a beautiful trout.
You ever catch a largemouth?
Yeah.
How much did that son of a bitch weigh?
5.5 pounds.
Damn. That is a
frog.
Using a frog, Laura. It's nice. That's a smart strategy. I've heard they
you
like
throw
frogs.
it right in the weeds.
That's where they like to hang out, where they gobble up sunfish and stuff.
I feel like you're a big perch guy.
Perch?
You like catching the little perch.
I've got a few yellow perch and white perch.
Do you ice fish at all?
I've wanted to. It just never happened.
I know you said you're a fan of the cold, so I didn't know if you did.
I am not a fan of the cold, but it's still something I want to try.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not a fan of the cold.
Yeah, I think that the ice fishing like the only pleasure I could get out of the cold, maybe.
If you catch a big northern pike nuggets are pretty good.
I almost hooked a pike one time. I almost reeled it in, but yeah. It just snapped off.
I hate when that happens.
It's a fisherman's worst nightmare.
What else do you do outside? Do you do much other stuff outside? Yourself, outdoors?
Well, we scout for stuff. Like we used to go out, set up trail cameras, see what's moving, see if it's going to be a good hunting spot, like on public land or anything. But that's about it. What about you? Do you anything?
Yeah, I spend quite a bit of time outside. I mean, like you said, I'll do some hiking. I recently found a bear cave this past weekend, which is pretty cool. So
you're not looking to explore that, are you?
I already went in it.
Okay.
There's nothing in there though. It's all right.
Okay.
But no, I spend a lot of time outside. Snowmobiling is probably my favorite thing to
do. Any 4-wheeling or anything?
Yeah, I have 4-wheeler side by side. Got that stuff. But nothing beats snowmobiling.
I wouldn't know because I don't have a snowmobile, nor do I have the land to do that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Talk It Out with Dennis. My name is Ahmad Dennis. Make sure you hit that follow, that subscribe button, depending on where you're watching this.
You want to see some pictures, Ahmad?
God damn it! I was just ending this, man.
Deer? I thought we were gonna show pictures.
Show it to the camera, I guess.
All right, here was my doe in bow season. Not a bad one, would you say?
That's a decent size,
pounds.
Yes.
Yeah, not a bad one. This is my deer I got Saturday, which weighed 120 pounds. Oh, it will show you that one. Not a bad one. And then here was my one Sunday. Not a bad one. And this is when I walked up to it Sunday. When I dropped it, it slid down the mountain. Got some snow on it.
I bet that was an adventure getting it back.
No, it was actually pretty easy because it was all downhill. So.
Oh, it wasn't sliding or nothing?
No, it was sliding all right. This was my duck I shot right there, the band.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll show you that one. You want to see the bear?
Sure, show him the bear, yeah.
I'm going to bring you some bear meat.
I think I'll.
You're not going to pass. It's a nice one.
That is a pretty big bear, I got to say.
Yep, thank you.
How much did you say that thing weighed?
167 pounds.
That's about as much as me. A little bit more than me, actually.
I bet you can bench more, though.
Yes, I can.
I mean, PEDs.
What? What does that even mean?
Performance enhancing drugs.
I do not take drugs, my man.
I know, I'm just joking with you. Then how do you get big biceps? What do you eat? A lot of protein?
Yeah, I just got like protein powders and like meat stuff in my.
That or I see you wear those gloves in there. Do those help?
I mean, I don't actually wear them, but yeah, I do have calluses, and they do start peeling.
I see you go in there, and you ever see Will in there?
Sometimes.
He mogs everyone in there. He's a freaking demon, dude.
He's a pretty big dude, I gotta say. Yes, he is.
Will not lie. When are you gonna make a gym podcast?
Hadn't thought about it.
Fitness with Dennis. You do cardio?
I do not do any cardio. I am not in very good cardiovascular shape, actually.
Why not?
Because I don't.
What's your excuse?
I just never think.
That's why deer hunting. You got a lot of walking to deer hunting.
Yes, with both tracking and dragging the deer. I know that much. I can remember dragging that deer I got. My dad and I were both so tired we stopped every maybe 10 or 15 yards or so to take a break.
You never told me. Where did you shoot that deer?
In Fairfield.
It's a good hunting spot, actually, up that area. Why haven't you gone back since?
We've gone back plenty of times. The deer just never came out.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Actually, on my second youth weekend, we did have a doe come up to our blind, but she just wouldn't hold still, and I just couldn't get in a shot on her.
Were you shaking pretty bad?
No, she just wouldn't stop moving. She was actually pretty shook up. I think.
Was she blowing at you?
No, she was running. I think she was running from another shot that was coming from somewhere.
That or she had a deer chasing her trying to rut.
No, she was the only one there.
I got to watch this. It's pretty cool. My rifle this weekend, I was sitting in my tree stand, and then I had 3 doe come in, and then before you know it, I had a spike horn come in. And he's walking up to him. He's going like this. You know what he's trying to do.
Yep.
And I got to experience and see the rut firsthand, which was a cool sight that not many people get to see actually in their life.
No, do not give us the details.
I mean, basically, he walked up behind her, started stomping, he chased her. It's pretty cool because you could tell how much she wanted this dough because she peed right there on the ground. He stuck his face right in it. You could smell that guy a mile away.
It smells like a turkey hunting story.
Turkey?
Yeah, we were calling in this Tom for like half an hour until he finally showed up.
You just gotta go gobble, gobble, gobble.
And just as he finally showed up, a hen starts coming down the hill right towards him. And just as they're about to,
I hope he didn't shoot the hen.
yeah, just as they're about to shoot, just as they're about to get it on, my dad shoots.
Really?
Yep.
Get it on? What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean. Thankfully,
That's how I shot my first deer, actually.
well, as I was saying, thankfully the hen survived.
Oh, thank God, yeah. I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah,
That's how I shot
but-
my first buck. I actually was walking, and at the time I was like 8 years old, and I look over to my dad and I said, "Dad, why is the buck hurting the doe? Why is he on top of her?" And so I look at him and I put it on him, and I turned my head and shot, and I got him. But
That is probably the luckiest shot anyone has ever gotten, ever, if you were looking away.
yep, he was hurting her. No. Well, thank you for having me, Ahmad.
Thank you for being here.
We'll have another podcast soon. Don't you worry. I'm going to film my buck tag.
Yep. Yes. And again, thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Make sure you hit that follow, that subscribe button, depending where you're watching this from. Hit
Thank
the
you
like
for
button, and I'll
having
catch you on the
Ice
flip
Cube.
side.
Thank you, Ice Cube, Nick Wren, Eazy-E, Yella, Dr. Dre, and most importantly, Diddy.
No, not it.
Ain't nobody like a Diddy party. Thank you.